Hey everyone, it's Brother Chris with Gypsy Lady Eva. We're going to be throwing some stuff actually in before we get to the topic, but right now we're going to be talking about a crucial thing that's going actually on within the world right now with North America, and this is to do with actually the tariffs, I think, or Trumpus, whatever you want to call it, that Donald J. Trump is trying to put in against Canada. Gypsy Lady Eva has footnotes actually in front of her, and we're going to discuss about this. And this is very crucial right now because February 1st, your state will be losing power since you guys get power from Ontario with
Yeah.
a couple other states. So we'll
Oh,
discuss that, and also with that footnote though that we have in front of us on our screen. So go right ahead.
okay.
Hey everyone, check out our merchandise that we have now listed underneath HauntingLivePodcast.com. We used to be on Etsy, but we found a little bit of troubles with that, so we are now on HauntingLivePodcast.com with our merch store. Check it out. We've got so much items all together with cleansing items and crystals and so much more. Check us out, HauntingLivePodcast.com. Hey everyone, it's Brother Chris here from Divine Oracle Podcast. Join me Mondays as I do readings and I post them right here in the Podbean. It's easy, it's good lighting, and it's your weekly readings. So join me, will you?
Follow us here at Haunting Live, and we are honored to have a brand new co-host on our shows now. Yolanta Mary introduces people to the show and discusses different topics on the show. So we're really happy to have her here this season. So go check out our brand new episodes.
Where do you want to start?
My head is going around and you start. You're Canadian. You go first.
Okay, all right. So basically, though, is if Donald J. Trump does actually put that blockage actually onto Canada and charges us extra, let you know the people in the States will be paying a higher price. Not as Canadians, though, the States will be paying a higher price. We'll still be shipping our stuff, but the thing, though, is we will be putting that tax actually on the Donald J. Trump is actually putting onto Canada. Then the people in the States will be actually paying extra for what comes over. There's a lot of stuff that comes from Canada, though, that you guys don't realize of within the States. But according to Ontario, Doug Ford, the one that's going to be losing his power shortly, it comes actually the 29th of February of 2025. He has indicated, though, that if Donald J. Trump does put that stuff actually onto Canada, Ontario will be shutting off the power. Now, one location will be with Michigan, Missouri, North Dakota, Ohio, Pennsylvania, New York, and part of Virginia. What do you think about that?
I can only think of one word, and I'll be nice about it. Yikes.
Yeah.
I don't think people realize how much we get from Canada, and he wants to put tariffs because the man does not really understand what tariffs are all about.
No, he
Let's
doesn't.
face it.
So,
And because of that, he wants to do all these things. I mean, it's like, okay, I got to get calmed down because my blood
no, no,
pressure's
no, 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 no. It's gonna be good though. The response because you're American. I'm Canadian, but I want to hear it really from your side.
to be honest with you, I get very upset about it because I think what Trump does not realize is what he is doing to the United States itself. We have, let's face it, we have a good relationship with Canada.
Yes,
There's
you
no
do.
ifs or buts about it. And I don't know about like Montana and Wisconsin, or not Wisconsin, but Minnesota and several of the other states, North Dakota, uh, Oregon,
Yeah.
and the rest of the states, they're right on the border. Now with Michigan, we could cross at Sault Ste. Marie. I know that's
Yes.
one. Fort Huron, Detroit. There's the big bridges there, and we at one time, I know we now have to show our uh, passports, but at one time we didn't have to. You just went up to the bridge. They asked you what you were doing and have a good time,
Yeah.
and uh, it was that simple. And I mean, where else? What other borders can you do that with? could you do that with? Now we do have to show a passport, and I can understand with the way things are going in the whole world as it is, but still, it's not like you go to another country, like you go to name a country.
Say Portugal.
Portugal. You'd have to have your passport, make sure you have everything in order on your birth certificate and this and that and these and those. I mean, it's quite a thing to go through. Not immigration. What do they call it? I mean, I guess it would be immigration.
Yeah, it is. It is actually immigration. Yeah.
I mean, I remember when I went to Israel, and this has been many years ago, and what we had to go through what I had to go through to get to where I needed to go in Israel just to get past that immigration thing. It was an hour-long procedure. And it wasn't like they were doing anything, like hurry up and wait. I mean, it was a moving thing all the time. You had to keep going and go over here, and you had to do this, and you had to prove that, and you had to do that. You were in there for at least an hour, and then when you came out, you still had to show your passport.
Yeah.
So, I mean, when you think about what we did here, I mean, even with showing your passport here, it's just kind of like, here's my passport. Oh, where are you going? We're going to the casino. At least this from here to there, from U.S. to Canada. Where are you going? To the casino, or we're going out to eat, or things like that. There was not that. I'm yelling, and I apologize.
No, you're not. You're not yelling, but go ahead.
I feel like I am. So it was not such a bad thing to go from here to there. And now with the way everything is, I don't know what's going to happen, especially if they put the tariffs. Jeez, the tariffs on. I mean, I've heard what Mexico might want to do at the border, and it's not going to be nice.
Yeah.
And with not so much the border, but the tariffs themselves, if they want to put, excuse me, if Trump wants to put tariffs on, they're going to tariff right back, so to speak, and it's not going to be good. And I don't know if Canada plans to do any, I don't want to say retaliatory, but that's basically what it is. You put tariffs on our stuff, look what we're going to do to you.
Yeah.
It's a sad thing because...
And one of those, you guys are going to lose power.
Yes.
So it's like, and I bet a lot of people though that are right now still Trump supporters, that are blindsided because they were not in voting age, or didn't really know much right when he's in first term. All right. Well, are now realizing, okay, during the Trump second term, voted him in, that are still Trump supporters, are thinking he's high and mighty. But if we go down to it to the first term, there was things though you put into power though that we know were actually blocked. And just recently today, there was some stuff blocked actually on him. And some of them are, if you want to start to mention.
Oh, that he's blocked already?
No. That he's tried to block, but the thing is they're not blocked. They're actually not blocked.
Oh, gosh, I'm drawing a complete blank.
Well, the thing
right now.
Well, I know one thing though is teachers are starting to realize though that they don't run the schools. Trump runs the schools.
No.
And with actually, go ahead.
That's one thing I know. And another thing that's been put under government control, so to speak, is it has to do with information for immigrants.
Yeah.
That one really upsets me. It's like, you blank, 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 blank.
So.
Blank, blank, blank. And I mean, the other night I was watching something on one of the news places, and they were talking about things that he's doing and things that have to do with what he plans to do. And he said, it's a dictatorship and it's coming in and people don't even realize it.
Yeah.
because he's doing it so subtly. And the thing is, if you know anything about history, anything about dictatorships, that's how it's done. Subtly, one step at a time.
It's not.
And they need a lot of patience.
It's not to do with Bill 2025 though, that he originally wanted to vote for it, and he said he had nothing to do with it.
Oh yeah, Project 2025. He said he had nothing to do with it, but the main creator of this Project 2020, or writer of the Project 2025, is now in a cabinet position. Now that's damn awful scary.
Yeah.
And I beg people, if you're going to vote for Trump, at least read, and it's in, you can find it online. There's several sites. Project 2025. Did they read it? No.
No.
And one of them came back to me and said, "My bad." I said, "You're damn right. Now we're going to have to deal with it. What are you going to do about it?"
Yeah. Yeah. So
and my brother.
Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No. Go ahead. Your brother.
And my brother, who is a Trumper and voted for, and he was kind of complaining about some of the things that are starting to happen. And I said, "Well, did you vote for him?" "Yes, I did." "Then why are you complaining?"
Yeah. It's like
so there. Ha.
Yeah. So we're going to take a quick look actually at this little footnote, and we're going to look at total of U.S. and Canada of how much trade is actually going on in between Canada and U.S.
Okay.
All right.
That's the total U.S. agricultural and agri-food trade?
Yes, that is correct.
Is that what you're looking? Okay.
Yeah.
Just checking.
Yeah. So it says $27.6 billion actually is traded in between Canada and U.S. Now, again, notice once Trump does this, it goes sky high. Again,
Yes.
Don't forget, things actually within the States that are coming from Canada, which is a large percentage, which will be actually going a lot higher. Now, the thing, though, is... One thing that we're going to look at, though, is within the States getting actually, if you want to sort of do with the left column, I'll give that
That's
one to
exports, U.S. exports to Canada.
Yeah.
$32 billion. And that includes grain alcohol, food preparations, baked goods, dog and cat food, and corn.
Yeah.
And the corn astounds me. It's $864 million. That's a lot of corn.
Yeah. It's like so. Now on the left side it says baked goods, oil, which is actually for cooking. All right, we're looking at beef and pork, chocolate, and then we're going to be looking actually at frozen foods and other products, sort of like potatoes. This is actually to do with stuff coming from Canada and all that. And that right there, what we're looking at though is from Canada to the States. So basically, what we're looking at though is $40.5 billion. So there is a large percentage, higher than 32. So again, the $40.5 billion from Canada to the States, and then the States actually to Canada. I love what the percentage is actually underneath your column, which is actually to do with the alcohol.
Okay.
All right, of how much this is on there.
$1.7 billion.
Yeah.
That's a good way to get snockered.
Yeah. Now, also though, with the food products, it says 1.5 billion, and then baked goods, which is 1.3 billion. Dog and cat food, which is $1.2 billion. Again, their corn, though, is $86.4 million.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now, for baked goods, so if you want to learn if you know sort of about the baked goods.
Well, baked goods are $5 billion.
Yeah.
And the canola oil, I find that interesting, is $4.8 billion. Beef and pork is $3.6 billion. Chocolate, oh, that hurts hard. $2 billion. And frozen fries and other prepared potatoes is 1.7 billion.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's like God. So,
Wow.
I know that's quite a bit, right? And just
Well,
go ahead.
I mean, you said that's quite a bit, and yeah, I mean, when you break it down as much as they did, it's still, when you look at the difference, $40.5 billion.
Yeah,
$1 billion.
yeah.
That's a lot of stuff.
That's like gosh. So, and then what we're gonna do those we're gonna throw some of the provinces are that are along the borders, and we're gonna let you know what the import and export
Beauty.
is. So, yeah.
Hello. What's up?
All right, so yes, well, she's actually on the phone. What we're going to do, those we're going to continue on. So with some of the provinces and territories, what we're going to do, those we're going to take a look actually at some of this, and we're going to see of what the import and export is. So, and this is going from states to provinces. The first one though we're going to look at though is Alberta, which is $8.8 billion. The export, though, is actually $6.5 billion, and the import will be actually $2.3 billion. So you remember the import, though, which is actually coming from the States to Canada, and the export, though, is going to be from Canada going to the States. So yeah, there is quite a bit actually altogether. The province I live in, which is actually Ontario, and Ontario shows actually $32.8 billion. Now the export though is $15.8 billion, and then the import though is only $17.0 billion. We hit with Ontario though, we hit Michigan, we hit New York states, and also surrounding states altogether around that area. There is quite a bit more information altogether right there, and what's going to go on those, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back actually after this little break with actually a little bit more figures. So just join us and we'll be right back. So yeah,
Sorry about that.
it's okay. All right, so again, we do say welcome back, everybody, and what we're going to be doing we're going to be looking at some of the figures though that are going actually on, and we're going to look at some of the provinces and seeing what's being imported and exported. So again, those Gypsy lady, even before we went for break, I did Alberta and Ontario. It all depends to you what provinces you want to know about. So again, those, I don't know if you know much about provinces that are touching the states.
I'm looking how to get there.
Okay. All right. So it's still on the same page that we were on.
Yeah, but it's not going back. Dang. Hang on. Give me a second here. I got too many tabs up. That's the problem. You know, it's all so good stuff, but until you try and do something and then you can't because you don't know how.
Yes. So we're doing the editing.
Thank heavens. Why can't I find this again? Oh, I'm in the wrong thing. That's why.
So look for the Canadian flag, and then it says the United States.
Got it.
Okay. All right.
Okay,
so here we go.
Provinces.
All right. So Gypsy lady Eva, I don't know if you know the provinces that touch the states.
I know Ontario is one.
Okay, so we've got going across, so we got British Columbia, we got Alberta, we got Manitoba and Saskatchewan, and then going actually out east, though, we also have Quebec, Newfoundland, and St. John's.
Yes.
So,
like I say, the only one I know for sure was Ontario and Quebec.
okay, all right.
Actually, I couldn't think of the name. I was like, my mind is just not working.
It's like so. If you sort of want to mention sort of Quebec of import and output and how much billions.
Quebec. $7.1 billion. Exports are 5.8 billion and imports are 1.3 billions. So they send out more than they bring in.
Yeah, so us Canadians though, we send a lot more to you guys.
That's Quebec. Ontario
Yeah, I've already touched Ontario.
has exports.
So
Ontario's the one saying Ontario, the exports are 15.8 billion and the imports are 17 billion.
yeah, yeah. So
That's kind of the same. I suppose it depends.
yeah. Now we're gonna look actually at British Columbia, beautiful British Columbia. It's just actually over top of Seattle, and that right there, what we're looking at though is $6.0 billion. Now export though is actually 2.6, and then import though is actually 3.4 billion. So
I would have thought that they would have had a higher one because of where they're at, but I guess not.
No, British Columbia, they do more with forestry out there. Same with also Alberta. I'll give that one to you for Alberta.
Alberta has exports of 6.5 billion and imports of 2.3 billion. And that's from the United States, so
yeah,
that's a good thing.
Yeah. Now the thing though is, did you actually notice right when before I sent this little notes to you, did you actually know about this or not?
No, I didn't. I knew that we exported lots of things from Canada, but I didn't realize that we exported as much as we did.
Yeah.
No, reverse that. I knew that we did a lot of exporting, but I didn't realize how much importing we did.
Okay.
And it's surprising because it's more than a lot of people think.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, if I'm thinking this, unless they're really up on everything.
Yeah, this one here was actually the most recent up-to-date information though that we have. Now what we're going to do though is instead of looking actually looking at Canada, we're going to look at the states. So if you slide upwards. Yes, yep. Bring your mouse upwards. Now this is actually to do with the total U.S. and Canadian agricultural. This is to do, again, we did talk about actually the 72.6 billion actually altogether. What we're going to do is we're going to look actually at some of the states. One of my favorite states though I used to travel to actually as a child is Michigan. So Michigan though actually exports 1.1 billion and imports 1.5 billion dollars.
That's kind of even.
Yeah.
But Michigan is different anyway.
Yeah. Now with Florida, I know right where that snow was, and I think it's still there. Florida does actually $2.2 billion all over. Now the export though is 88,000. I'll give this one to you. Sorry.
All right. Florida has $2.2 billion altogether of import exports. Broken down, its exports are $878 million and $1.3 billion of imports.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
So.
That's very interesting.
So there is a lot actually altogether.
Yeah, and I think it's because we do have such a good rapport between the two countries. It's not like it's almost I don't mean to say it this way, but it's almost like we're all part of the same country. Take your pick, US or Canada.
Yeah. But we're not the 51st state. And we do not have a a premier, like what Donald J. Trump says. We have a prime minister. So if you're going to take over a country, learn the terms. It's like, gosh, so.
You know, I said if we're going to be if they were going to make them the 51st state, they should make the whole United States with the same kind of health programs and all the other good stuff that Canada has. It should be a part of the whole United States. I think that's fair.
Yes. I just saw recently, it was a map of the states. Okay. And I love the picture of it. And
Okay.
what it was, though, is it was out of the States, and it had to do with Michigan, Ohio. So it went down to that far down and straight across. So everything, though, that was down to Ohio was all Canada. Even with California on that side. The States was very, very small. I just saw
Oh,
that.
yes.
I saw that just this week, and I was like, I love it. It's so true. So, because a lot of
Well,
people.
Michigan.
Go ahead.
I think Michigan was won by the Americans during one of the wars that we had. And I don't know what Canada got in exchange, but America got, I know Michigan was part of it. Michigan, I think I think Ohio was a part of it too.
Yeah.
So we were Canadian to begin with. Eh?
Yes. Hey, we don't all say A. I know.
You know.
I know that there is the most stereotypes actually because of because of South Park. That a lot of people.
Oh no, actually.
Go ahead.
No, sorry. That actually goes back a long way to the McKinsey brothers.
Okay.
You don't know who they are?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Bob and Doug McKenzie.
They were back. That was back in the
70s.
Oh, the 70s. So
Yeah.
that's been a long, and I think it even goes back further than that. But I know it was the McKinsey brothers were really big, don't you know, eh?
Yeah. Those guys were originally on CTV, not CTV, but STV is what they were originally on. They were shot in Toronto. And it's funny, though, because those two guys are now famous. They live in the States. And one of them did Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, and the other one did Ghostbusters.
Yes.
So.
Just a minute. I got to look it up because I can't remember.
Bob and Doug McKenzie.
Yes. So. McKenzie. MC.
There we go. I've got it right there.
McKenzie. I'm not spelling it right.
It's MCKEN.
MC.
Yeah, so MCKENZIE is McKenzie. You hoser.
Yeah, sorry. Rick Moranis and Dave that's who created it. Dave Thomas, yeah.
Yeah.
Rick Moranis, who was most famous for Ghostbusters.
Yeah. It's like
that was it. They were a hoot.
Yes, they were.
They were a hoot.
So that was that. But again, though, we're gonna go back actually to the list. So we're gonna pick a couple things from the state. So we're gonna look at Mississippi. So Mississippi altogether actually is 1.71 million. Export, though, is 73. Import, though, is 98 million. These are both millions altogether. And if you want to pick a couple other ones.
West Virginia. 15 million altogether, 3 million exports, and 12 million in imports. How about Wisconsin?
2.2. Yeah.
Didn't we do that one?
No, we did not.
Okay, 2.2 billion. Exports were 1.3 billion and 850 million imports. Your turn.
All right. So Wyoming, all right, which is actually 46.5 billion. Export, which is 5.5 billion. Import, 41.1 million.
Yeah.
So that's actually a large. Go ahead.
Well, then how about Ohio?
If I can.
3 billion. Exports were 1.3 billion, and imports were 1.7 billion.
Yes. So that there is a large percentage. Again, though, is if Donald J. Trump does put that against Canada, just think, though, people in the States, your groceries are going to go up way higher. And don't be blaming us Canadians, though. Blame actually Donald J. Trump because anything though that's going to be shipped into the States, there's going to be additional taxes actually on top of that. It's all because of things coming from Canada, especially with maple syrup. Since most people within the States only think they'll about maple syrup for us Canadians, but there's a lot more products out there. There is also like Kraft Dinner. Kraft Dinner is Canadian.
I did not know that.
Yes. So Kraft Dinner is Canadian, and the most.
Hey, you learn something new every day.
Yeah, and Kraft Dinner is the highest eaten food in Canada compared to the States. So again, though, there's a lot more information actually out there. What's going to go on those? If you guys are interested, what I can do those, throw a link actually on so that way you guys can learn and be able to get your stuff actually all together and see what the goods are. So, all right. So we'll be saying thank you for this little portion, and join us for our next podcast, which will be happening tomorrow. And we're going to be talking about 9 different signs though that your third eye is open. Thanks a lot, and you guys have a wonderful day, and we'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, and thank you for your time. It is appreciated.